Alright, Doug, well, I told you I was going to make a video, so that's what I'm going to do. Because I stand by my word, you know what I'm saying? You're here with me in my mint green bathroom, and we are going to experience the traditional wet shave this fine evening. The day is January the 14th, 2013. Prepare to be amazed. Alright, so here I have with me a selection of traditional wet shaving accoutrements. That's some Imperial glycerin shave soap, fairly see-through. I've not used this stuff yet, but I hear good things about glycerin soaps. Another handmade traditional soap called Gentleman's Shave Soap. This is not glycerin based, this is your regular lye based. Well, I don't actually think a shaving soap is lye based, but I could be wrong. It probably is. You know what? I'm not a scientist. It's a new shave soap, Sarah bought it for me. We'll try that out at some point. Not today. This scuttle, thanks to Sean, that has some Arco shave stick that's been heated up and pushed down in there. And this is what I use typically. And that stuff comes in a stick, kind of like what's in my little bowl here. It comes in a red stick. This stuff is awesome, and it's really rich, and it's cheap. So this is my favorite stuff. Now I've got my brand new, see if I can focus in on that. This is my handmade shaving mug or shaving bowl. I've got a cheap synthetic. I do not recommend synthetic brushes because they're terrible. I do use it though. And then I have a cheap travel badger brush. And this is the one I've been forced to be using. That's pretty cool. Most people haven't seen that at the house. I don't know why you would. Why you'd be in my bathroom. It's creepy. But that's my handmade razor stand from Etsy. And my Merker. Beauty. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. We're basically going to start with some hot water. That's how it all gets going. You can get this water as hot as humanly possible. I'm not trying to burn our flesh off. We're just trying to get it really, really hot. Hot as you can stand. Yeah, it's probably good. And as that gets hot, we'll push that down. Go ahead and fill our scuttle up. For you, you can just use a bowl. You can fill that with water and set your brush down in there. And I'm just going to splash a little bit over into my Arco. So that's some pretty hot water. Take my brush, travel brush, unfortunately. I'm going to set that down in there. I've got water sitting on top of my Arco, and that's going to soften that up. And the moisture is going to get absorbed into the brush and make it nice and soft. So we'll leave that. We'll get in the shower, give that about 3 or 4 minutes to soak up, and then we'll move on to step numero dos. Okay, so just got out of the shower. Had to take a pit stop to do some other crap outside the bathroom, so my face is dry right now. But our brush has been setting, and most of the water that was on the Arco soap's actually gone. We're going to pour that out. We're going to pour out what's left on top of the soap in our mixing bowl. Should just be a couple of drops, but they'll be nice and soapy drops. We're going to take our brush. We're going to wring that out with our hand, just squeeze. About 2 shakes. We're going to plunge on top of our soap. We're going to get the sides involved, everything. We're going to whisk this kind of like eggs. And what we're doing is loading the brush. This is the brush right now. And we want a nice creamy, thick, clumpy brush. And that'll be our loaded brush. Okay, you can see here, if you look at that, trying to get her in focus there, That's a nice clumpy brush. It kind of moves in whatever direction you put it. You can tell that there's a really good clump to it. And that's a nice start for mixing. Now some people would take this and go directly to the face and you could start lathering in a wet face. But we'll use the bowl today just to add that extra cool step. We're going to take our bowl and we're just going to put this bad boy in here and start whipping like we're beating eggs. We're not going to get the full Monty here today, but usually I'd whip for about 35-45 seconds. Really intense. And check to see how dry my lather was. One thing you got to remember is when you're doing this is not to add a whole lot of water. You can always add water, but you can't take it away. And if you add too much water, what you'll get, I don't even know if I'm doing this on camera, sorry. What you'll get is a nice frothy mess, which doesn't actually protect your grizzled chin. So you want a nice thick whipped cream texture. You can see here, as I try to wipe that out of the bottom of the bowl, it's not coming. That's actually pretty good. I could shave with this right now. We'll whip it just a little bit more, kind of build up some more here. And you end up with something that you just can't get with a can of Barbasol. No offense against Barbasol, just not my thing. You see we got a nice rich creamy lather. Doesn't wipe up from the bottom of the bowl. That's a good sign that it's ready to go. We could talk about that all day long, but there are websites out there that you can read and they know a lot more than I do. So anyway, we're gonna lather up this mug and get going. I'm going to take my lather and I'm basically just going to hit the face. And you're doing two things here, if not more than two. Two of the main things is the bristles are getting underneath the hairs that would potentially be ingrowns and raising those up out of the skin and prepping the hairs to be shaved. And you're cleaning out any excess oils and stuff that you didn't get in the shower. And both of those things are really key to a good, clean, healthy shave. Once again, as a disclaimer for anybody who might be watching this, I only shave like twice a year. So, don't take my word for it. There's a lot of resources online you can check out with people who know a lot more than myself. This isn't the best lather, but we're going to finish by painting it onto the face. My lather's a little bit dry. I could stand to use a little water. Actually, I'm going to dip just the tip of the brush in there. Oh, I'm slinging water over here, people. I really probably shouldn't be filming with my brand new expensive camera in the bathroom whilst shaving. But you don't want any skin showing through. You don't want a whole lot of bubbles. And you don't want a really dry lather. And you'll be able to tell a really dry lather by a lot of skin showing through and a lot of patchiness. And I mean, like I said, common sense dictates, but you'll be able to tell. Then we'll just finish by painting the cream against the grain, across the grain. And then for underneath the hair, Shove that back in our bowl. That's how we lather up traditional style. Like I said, some people go directly to the face. I like it. It's a little bit quicker and doesn't involve all the steps. I don't normally shave this fast either, but I just figured I'd knock it out. I don't want to make the video 30 minutes long. you're supposed to just take a shave stick and rub it on your face, kind of like chapstick, and then lather that with the brush, wet brush, and wet face. But I read something about putting like a kneaded Arco shave stick in a scuttle and using it that way, and I've always done it that way, and I really like that. So that was bizarre. Camera cut off. Must not have wanted any of this business. Anyway, we're just finishing up here. That's that. I'm gonna rinse with warm water, drain out what we got. And after a warm rinse, we're gonna do a cold rinse for about 20 seconds. Whew. Pat dry. And that cold rinse just closes the pores up. It helps with preventing ingrown hair. Kind of air dry. That gets all that moisture up and out to the surface of the skin, so that when you apply your moisturizer, non-alcohol based, by the way, then you'll get her in there nice and deep. Grooming Lounge. Best for last aftershave. It's pretty good stuff. I just started using it. That's what we're using there. Just take that, massage it into the skin. And also that, oh, what is it? Giordano? No, not Giordano's. It's a freaking pizza company. What am I thinking? What's that crap called? Acquadigio. But non-alcohol based is the way to go. Because that alcohol based crap will dry your skin out. And while it does help prevent razor burn, it usually doesn't moisturize the skin. It dries it out. So that's that. Like I said, not the cleanest shave in the world, but I usually don't have a camera in the bathroom. Or do I? I don't know. It's creepy. Until next time, this is Shaving with Dustin Jones. Keep it real, son. Mwah.